Temperature scale. There are several ways to measure temperature, and the most widely known scales are Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin, Rankine, and Réaumur. Each scale chooses a different 0 point and the size of its degree. So imagine these scales like a ruler. Some of these scales starting at 0, while the others start at 32, and some of these rulers have a smaller degree marking compared to the others. Nevertheless, each of these scales help us understand temperature in different contexts. In the Celsius scale, water boils at 100 degrees and freezes at 0 degrees, whereas the average human body temperature is about 37 degrees, while the room temperature falls between 20 and 25 degrees. Whereas the absolute zero, which is the point where particles have minimal thermal motions, is minus 273 degrees Celsius. Whereas in the Fahrenheit scales, water boils at 212 Fahrenheit and freeze at 32 Fahrenheit, and the human body temperature is around 98 Fahrenheit, and the absolute zeros in Fahrenheit is minus 459.67 Fahrenheit. The Kelvin scale is crucial in scientific fields. In these scales, boiling water is about 373.15 kelvins, and the freezing points of water is about 273.15 Kelvin, and the scale starts at absolute zero, which is 0 Kelvin. So basically this is the theoretical lowest temperature possible. Since we have different scales, let us discuss on how we can convert temperatures between Celsius, Kelvin, and Fahrenheit. Imagine you have a temperature in Celsius like 20 Celsius. To convert 20 Celsius to Kelvin, we don't want to just add 20 to the absolute zero because that would not account for the different starting points. Instead, we add 273.15 to the Celsius value. So you must be wondering, right? Why? Okay, so this is because the gap between degree on Kelvin is the same as Celsius, but the starting point is shifted down by 273.15. Converting Celsius to Fahrenheit is a bit trickier. This is because the gaps between degrees are much more different. So we need to adjust for that. Imagine the Celsius ruler has a bigger unit than the Fahrenheit ruler. To convert, we multiply the Celsius value by 9/5. So in this case, we are shrinking the Fahrenheit scale, and then we add 32 to account for the difference in starting points. So it's like shrinking the Celsius ruler by a factor of 9/5 and then shifting it 32 units to the right. So why do we need to do all this conversion? Imagine scientists in different countries measuring the same phenomena. They might use different scales, but understanding the different conversions allow different scientists to compare their results much more easily.